Today's episode is going to be a checkup on you just to see how your day was going. And I'm going to tell you about my day. The day didn't really start off too good. Um, I had to think about things that I didn't want to think about in layman's terms. Had to what's the best way I can put this? I had to reevaluate life in certain aspects, and you know, if it happens, it happens. But it is something that didn't feel well to wake up to. But I went to work. I pulled up, did what I needed to do. Usual workday things. It was a very good day of work. I will say, when you're working at an automotive shop, if it's a day where there's nothing, like no cars coming in, then you're really just a janitor and you're just cleaning all day. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, wherever I work, I don't mind keeping clean because I have pride in my place of work. I have pride in the feeling of somebody coming to the shop, man, it's clean in here. Or I have somebody just coming around the corner. Don't have to worry about slipping or anything like that. I like that. I like that feeling. I like the feeling of somebody saying, "Oh, I can eat off of these floors," when we literally work on cars. It's pretty cool. But at the same time, it's hard to maintain. It's hard to keep clean all the time. It's like we have oil spills. We have brake fluid spills. We have coolant spills. Those things happen because you're working, and especially if it's a busy day, you don't really have too much time to, before I work on this car, let me go ahead and clean the bay, even though you have 5 tickets on your hook, So I will say today was a nice day. Work wasn't the worst. It wasn't like an overly stressful day. It was a pretty chill day. There was a couple of conversations that happened with coworkers that was nice. One of my coworkers actually proposed to his girl. It was really nice. It's good to see that he's, coming into his own. And even though he is around the same age as me, and this is no diss to him in no manner at all, but sometimes I feel like he's younger than me because of the way that he acts. And it's nice to see that he's coming into his own, coming into his manhood, doing the things that he wants to do, and not being scared to do them. It's nice to see that, and I commend him for it. It was some funny talks today. They're just talking about what would you do if you were kidnapped and the kidnapper was taking your butt every day? Are you trying to just die, or are you gonna wait till somebody comes save you? We were asking all the dudes that. I'm sitting here, look, you better take me out. Shoot, I'm gonna annoy that captor to the point where they gonna have to off me because my booty hole staying innocent. What you mean? But it was real funny. Another thing that we talked about, it was just trust in people, how others deal with it. I asked the question what makes you trust somebody, and would you give somebody trust out of the gate? And my ideology is I've switched ideologies as of late, because becoming a man that I am and living the life that I have lived, yes, I have sat and gave people the benefit of the doubt before. I will give them the trust, and I'll wait to see if they prove me wrong before I really move forward in a certain way, instead of me not trusting them until they prove their trust, or oh my gosh, I'm tired, but until they prove themselves trustworthy. But a couple of different opinions on it. One guy was like, I give people a benefit of the doubt, but also I don't completely open up. I don't give them ammunition in case. Like, you can't sit here and tell somebody your whole life story and all the things that you were extremely vulnerable about without knowing this person is truly looking out for the betterment of you. Because if you, like, and this is something that I had to deal with my family, and of course, they've changed over the years and they have gotten to be better people. But when I did live with them, I would tell them a secret. I would tell them how I felt, or I would tell them, like, hey, look, I am really feeling like I want to kill myself today. I really want to off it. And, you know, they'll maybe 2 days later in an argument bring up I wanted to, die. And that was the one thing that kind of messed me up when it came to people in the world, people in general. Because if my family was able to do that to me at a younger age, I always thought that somebody else could do that to me. But I really came into a good side of myself, had the conversation with the good side of myself, and said, look, we're going to have to keep this a thing that we keep in control. We're not going to just let this ruin our lives and not trust anybody or not talk about the things that you need to talk about to vent to people. If they're willing to hear you out and they don't sit here and, talk behind your back, and of course, another belief I do truly think is a real thing is all that is in the dark will come to light eventually. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it will eventually come to light. And those things, like, you can't sit here and do somebody dirty and be all, oh, I love you in your face, because eventually they will find out the truth. It's just going to happen. That's how the world works. That's how God works. That's what I really think. That's how God works. He's going to let the truth be known. But yeah, it was one thing that was a nice conversation to see people's different perspectives and see how they work in their mind. Something that was another conversating point was just how life unfolds for people, because at the end of the day we all have the same 24 hours in our life. We all have the same, even, like, okay, if you're somebody that was born with a silver spoon, or you were born with, the ability to get into connection with certain people easier than the next man, then yeah, it is what it is. But when it comes to just the common person, we all have the same 24 hours, and we're all able and capable to do what we need to do to reach our dreams. It's just the matter of comfortability. It's a matter of go-getter mentality. It's a matter of, I cannot think that this is enough. You have to think that you have to keep on going, which I truly believe that, people, not every person is supposed to be an entrepreneur. Not every person wants to deal with that upper level of stress. But if you're trying to be comfortable in life and breed generational wealth, that's pretty much the only way you're going to do it, is being an entrepreneur. And, you work that 9 to 5, and then once you come home, you're working on a project to get you millions later on. That is how you make the 24 hours in your life count. And really, you don't get 24. You're supposed to sleep for 8, and you're at work for another 8. So 16 minus 24, or 24 minus 16, you ain't getting much. You ain't getting much. And that's not even counting about, oh yeah, I got to go get some dinner. Oh, I got to clean up the house. I got to make sure laundry's done. Those things need to be done in your adult life. So you don't have much time to really sit down and make plans unless it's a day off, which sadly, people's days off are used for more income, or not really looking towards themselves. They're just running errands. They're not trying to find the things that are making them happy. They're just trying to make things work out. Oh, I only have this amount of time in my set schedule. Some folks, they might go to the gym. They might, treat themselves out. But it's not a regular occurrence to see people living. They're just working and working and working. But, yeah, the day at work today was good. The conclusion of the day was a really good conclusion. And I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm grateful that God has given me the strength to keep going. I'm grateful that God has given me the mindset to stay active and stay in it. Don't give up, because there's been days where I wanted to give up. There's been days where I do not want to, but I still put on my clothes. I still get in that car. I still let it warm up, give it a couple minutes, and then I go about my day. Because if I don't, then who will? And if I just sit here and wallow and not do, it just makes it harder. It makes the voices in my head louder. So why would I sit here and pretty much penalize myself or cripple myself mentally? And I know that it's going to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I let that side of my mind be like, you know what? I don't want to go into work today. We're not going into work, and then just wallow at home, not doing anything all day. But in my head, I'm like, ooh, I want to do this. Ooh, I want to do that. That is like, it's not good. And I know it's not good. So I move how I move. Um, Look, I hope you guys give me a little brief how your day was. Even no matter if this video is 2 years long or 2 years ago, I still want to hear how your day was. I hope it was a good one. I hope that you prayed today. I hope that you moved forward in a dream today and keep on moving forward in that dream, because you can make those dreams come true. You just have to keep working towards it. Don't let the outside voices of the world deem you incapable, because you are very capable. I'll see you on the next one. It was a nice talk. Hope you have a good one. Love you guys.